Should I start?
Let's see now. See if it hits the microphone thing. So let's see.
Wait.
Just put it over here.
Right, it's you that have to.
Yeah, you got
Put
it.
it here. I put it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Jesus Paul Nityananda Advaita Lord Caitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Sri Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Sri Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Sri Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Nityananda, Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Sri Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Sri Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya. There we go.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Paul Advaita Nityananda Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus, Paul, Advaita, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri. I don't want to upset that.
It's okay.
No?
That's
Okay.
okay.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Shri Advaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Pala Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jesus Bola Dvaita Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Perdón. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Every time I chant Hare Krishna, I get yearning.
That's good. You're
Yeah.
purifying.
But when I do Lord Caitanya, it doesn't happen.
Oh,
I purify already, no?
yeah.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, let's experiment. Sri Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
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 Okay, we were saying through Shri Krishna, that's why. Oh,
let's
you
let's
see?
try
Yeah,
another one.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
How about this? Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Yeah. Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga. See, that can happen.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Gauranga.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Lord Caitanya.
Lord Caitanya, Lord Caitanya, Nityananda.
Lord Caitanya, Lord Caitanya, Nityananda.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Lord Caitanya.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Lord Caitanya.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Nityananda.
Yeah, see? Lord Caitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Lord Caitanya.
Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga.
Lord Caitanya.
Okay,
Okay,
let's read a little bit.
enough. You see, you only want that we say
Oh,
characteristic.
yeah, you must be
Amazing.
getting more purified.
Well, I always say purify from the. I'm already purified with Lord Chaitanya.
Oh,
You see?
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Amon? No,
Aman,
Ammon.
yes.
Thank you.
Yes, okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda. Let's see. Let's read a little bit of some Bhagavatam here.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go there. I'll get set up here.
She's here because of the fan.
Yeah. I know that's good.
In the middle of
That's
you.
fine. Yeah,
Perdón.
that's all right. She's a bulldog.
Hold on.
Okay. Okay. So maybe we read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, actually, where we were left off this morning. Chapter 9 of the Adi Leela. So until she comes back here, I'm just going to read the introduction here of Chapter 9. Summary Chapter 9 has been given as follows by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravas Bhasya. In this chapter, the author, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has devised a figurative example by describing the desire tree of bhakti. He considers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Vishvambara, to be the gardener of this tree, because he is the main personality who has taken charge of it. As the supreme enjoyer, he enjoyed the fruits himself and distributed them as well. He considers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Vishvambara, to be the gardener of this tree, because he is the main personality who has taken charge of it. As a supreme enjoyer, he has enjoyed the fruits himself and distributed them as well. Yeah, I think this is pretty amazing, that Lord Chaitanya has given us that opportunity again to uh, taste these fruits and actually like be the gardener also. See, because we get this potency that he had, just like when Jesus had the Holy Spirit. Lord Chaitanya also had the spirit of devotion, And he gave that spirit, just like Jesus gave that spirit or awakened it in others. See, and then it enables them to do what these originators did. Like Lord Caitanya, I'll read what he said there. Since where is it here? Yes, here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So he considers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is known as Vishwambara, to be the gardener of this tree of devotion.
Mhm.
Okay, because he is the main personality who has taken charge of it. You know what? Can you just shut
Sí,
the thing off, the like
sí,
the
sí.
ringer and stuff, so it doesn't bing bing bing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The gardener of this tree, because he is the main personality who has taken charge of it. As the supreme enjoyer, he enjoyed the fruits himself and distributed them himself. Yeah, and this is a great secret of bhakti is in the parampara when it's actually being preaching the actual truth of it, the real truth of it, which is passing on the spirit of devotion. Then you also become the taster of these fruits, and the distributor. See, just like the Lord did originally. So, He gives us that ability, which is quite amazing, because that's the real treasure of life. This is the pearl of great price Jesus was talking about. Is this devotion, which enables us to enjoy God, basically, and enjoy godly things that God enjoys. Himself when He was here. So that's why in especially this age, he came here to give this ability to taste this bhakti, which is an amazing gift, and that's the real disciplic line when it's fructified. See the fruit of this love of Krishna. Okay, so let's go to the verse. Well, actually, I'll continue more.
Sí.
He is the main personality who's taken charge of it. As the supreme enjoyer, Uh, he enjoyed the fruits and distributed them as well. The seed of this tree was first sown in Navadvip, the birth site of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the tree was brought to Purushottama Setra, and then to Vrindavan. You know what I need is something like a
Okay, okay.
backing. You know what oh, you know that thing.
Thingy.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe that'll work.
Yeah, good mood. No, we are very in a
Huh?
good mood.
Wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta. I just have to be myself. You
Okay.
don't understand a lot of times when I'm this kind of
Okay.
channeling.
Okay.
It's nothing to do with moods or mundane things.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, well, I'll tell you, when I'm doing a service like this, I get very intense, and it's like I don't want to miss a beat in it. That's all. That's all it is.
Okay.
It's like I just want. So it's not about controlling the mood or anything.
Okay.
Just I need this, and I just get it. Okay. It's kind of hard to understand sometimes, but that's just how it is. Yeah. Okay, so the seed that was first sown in Navadvip, the birth site of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the tree was brought to Purushottama, Purusottam Setra, Jagannath Puri, and then to Vrindavan. The seed first fructified first in Srila Madhavinda Puri and then in his disciple Ishvara Puri. It is figuratively described that both the tree itself and the trunk of the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The seed of the tree was first sown in Navadvip. So it's kind of interesting. The tree itself is uh, is uh, is Lord Chaitanya. He's using an analogy of a tree, but this tree moves. See, and so the tree has fruits, and this fruit is love of God, and so he brings this to town. So this is how people get it. They make contact with the tree and begin to eat the fruits. And so the way the Lord or the devotees, like now, you'll have to see the devotees who are moving around and distributing these fruits. And this basically it's this taste for what is of the transcendental nature. That's why the life changes. It's like it's a whole different level of consciousness beyond what most people are aware of. It's just
Yes.
another. Yeah. So it has to be brought here. It's like kind of like the aliens. The aliens come here. They bring something. Usually, it's technology. I think they say like this: people from another planet, if they're more advanced technologically, they come here. They give you some technology, and then you're able to use it. Well, that's a kind of a mundane example, gross example of a spiritual gift. The Lord comes from a spiritual dimension. They call it actually spiritual planets, and they bring this gift of this devotion here, which enables us. It's like it activates this frequency that we're able to tune into. That people, unless you're awakened, you can't tune into it. It seems like it's like it's like you're an alien basically. So it has to be passed on, and but it's really wonderful, and that's what the work we're engaged in with tasting, just like the Lord tasted this bhakti. Um, when I started preaching, I started just by tasting this bhakti, and there happened to be some people there, and they started to pick up on the energy, the frequency, and it started to open up this space in them, an ability, and then they also could do the same thing. It's like one candle lighting another.
Yeah.
Although it's very rare, this it's nothing like Lord Chaitanya, and this bhakti is very different than anything, uh, and it's a great gift. It's something you can't. You have to just get it passed on from what they call a disciplic line. So it comes in a line uh, of people that carry this. Um, it's like carrying a virus. You carry it and you pass it on. If you don't have this virus, you can't pass it to somebody. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So the seed was first sown in Navadvip, the birth site of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the tree was brought to Purusattam Setra, and then to Vrindavan. The seed first fructified in Madhavinda Puri, and then his disciple Ishvarapuri. See, this seed was in Madhavinda Puri, but what's interesting is Madhavinda Puri didn't get it anywhere in this world because it wasn't in. Actually, he was in a line, a bhakti line. Well, I don't know, it was bhakti, but it was a like a lineage. But they didn't have this love of God. He just kind of carried it from another life and brought it in, and then he gave it to his disciple by association, and Ishvarapuri. And then Ishvarapuri passed it on to Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya passed it on to the whole world practically back then, all of India, most of India. Yeah. And he had like thousands, it said like thousands, maybe millions of people following him and his followers, chanting in this ecstatic state.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Lord Caitanya.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah. I always kind of wondered why it disappeared so fast, you know?
He did?
Yeah, I mean the this bhakti basically because after he left, it started to go down.
Uh-huh.
But it's not surprising. because this bhakti is so rare and so amazing that it takes living beings to keep it going. You have to keep the line going. So it did for a while. Like there were three main preachers of this bhakti. Was Narottam and Shamananda and Srinivas. So there were three, and they had this devotion, and they preached it. They taught these concepts like we do, and people started to get it, and they got the purification and raised to that level. So it was pretty amazing. This preaching is my life and soul. Oh, Tuka.
Tuka.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's really beautiful. It's open up to everybody. Mainly just have to make this connection and stay with the program. Just stay with the devotees and just listen a lot to your heart gets very committed to it, and you can understand these very subtle truths because they're very simple, but they're very deep, and it takes actually purification to understand them. People go through that have been with here 5 years. A lot of them went through a lot of stuff to get, like Lalita. She went through a lot of purification to get where she is now. Yeah, River also, and well, everybody actually, myself included. I went through a lot of purification, even though I had it from pretty much the very beginning. But still, a lot of purification, and it's good. It's it just gets better, and then it's almost like. When you get really steady in this, it's like almost all gravy. It's just gravy, just always icing, icing, icing. Could you imagine eating sweets and you don't get sick? It's just you eat this sweet bhakti, and it just gets better and more beautiful and more wonderful. It gets your life becomes better and more amazing, and then you affect other people, and their lives become really amazing. Like I haven't seen anybody in this Vaishnava movement that has so many testimonies, and we just have a small group. They very powerful testimonies of people's lives changing, like really transforming.
They do change a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah, and it just goes on and and on, and it's wonderful. It changes. It's like you start to understand what is really auspicious, and what is really good fortune. It's
Yeah.
spiritual fortune. Um, it's not material.
No, no.
It's a spiritual happiness.
Yeah. Much better.
Yeah, it's just like what Jesus said. I have a peace that surpasses all understanding,
Yeah.
a joy of God, and it's very special. It's not of the world. You know, this is spiritual happiness. Fani says it's actually so easy to approach you. Then Prabhupada Bar is lowered so much for us. Thank you so much for coming. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Pani knows he was in the Prabhupada's group, which is ISKCON, and it's very hard, very hard. You got to chant a certain amount of rounds, and he's a householder, and him and his wife were devotees initiated. I don't know if you probably I don't remember if you were initiated or not, but you were with ISKCON, and you have to certain chant rounds and all this, and sometimes you couldn't do it, and then there's the guilt there because you can't do it, uh, and and you can't eat this, you can't do
What?
this, can't do that, otherwise,
Oh,
yeah, well, that's just they have rules, yeah, a lot of
like
rules, lots of
religions. No?
religions, yeah,
Religions,
yeah,
they all have rules.
all have
I hate
rules,
rules.
yeah,
I'm not into rules.
yeah.
You're not either, right, Gemini?
I
Gemini,
like
we don't like rules.
guidelines. I like
Good.
guidelines.
Yeah.
Prabhupada even said, that he said, devotees, when you get to the ecstatic platform, you don't follow the rules and regulations of this Vaishnavism strictly, kind of loosely. I mean, I get up early, I chant every
All
day,
right. I never liked rules ever
It
in
doesn't
any
matter.
area of
Yeah,
my life.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just me. Yeah, I have, I'm regular. I come here regularly. I love to chant.
Mm.
I love these books. Basically, it's what it comes down to is you get this. It's called Bhakti Lata Bij, and it's the inclination. You just love God. You know,
Yes.
you love things to do with God. You love His books written by His real devotees, just like He does. what God actually, when the Lord comes here, because the Vedas say he actually comes here in person and he starts all this stuff. He brings us, or he brings his very intimate associates, we call devotees, and they come here and they give us this spark of being
Yeah.
able to relish what is divine. And this is what liberates us. We just and it gives us eternal life. It's like the what do they call that, the fountain of youth. This bhakti is like the fountain of youth, and it's always youthful. You always feel young inside. Yeah, people my age, they can't believe it. Like, because they feel themselves so old. I feel like a teenager.
I never knew, like, I never thought that you were your age. When you told me your age, I was like, what? Like, you look like at least, I don't know, 15 years younger than what you are, I
Really?
think,
Oh, yeah,
at
yeah,
least, yeah.
yeah. Well, it's a also. I just feel, just bhakti. It does it. It's always renews you. See, everything you kind of burn out in the world. See, so because everything's set up in Maya to kind of limit you, and even in emotive goodness, there's more limitations and stuff. This bhakti is so beautiful because it's renew. It's like a renewable energy that's immense, and it increases. It's ever fresh. It puts a smile on. I mean, I look at my videos and just smiling. He's just inside feeling good. There's this martial arts guy who was going around. He talked how to have the inner smile, but that you had to practice. You had to
Oh,
sit there and meditate and practice smiling. Bhakti just puts a smile on you. You just talk about Krishna, chant his name, or Lord Chaitanya's
Caitanya.
name. You just start to, you know, feel this.
Yeah,
Wow, man, I'm feeling good.
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
Chaitanya.
yeah,
Yeah,
Chaitanya, and you get this by being in the real line. The real line to me is not necessarily coming to this path, or like say this religion, and then you get a bunch of rules and you practicing, like hard, and you're really working on it, and it's really methodical and dry, and it doesn't put a smile on your face, but this does. And this is the gift in this real line here. This is why I'm going to get the Vaishnavas to understand this, because they generally don't. They think you got to work for your salvation and all that. No, you just got to get the gift. Actually, you got to get this gift from
Chaitanya.
actually from the associate who carries Chaitanya.
Okay, so I got
Yeah,
it from you
yeah, it comes. That's how it
on the
comes.
third day.
Yeah, yeah, it comes fast.
Very fast.
Yeah,
I'm
some.
so happy because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
impatient.
yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah,
patient, right?
I'm
Yes, he wants
impatient.
it now.
So he knew that I was impatient.
Probably, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He
he
knows
showed him
everything. There we go. Okay, we got sound now again. Okay, sound is working.
Okay.
Mm.
Hola.
Is he okay?
Some doesn't have this because I can't play.
Oh
That's
yeah.
rough.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, it's back. Okay, good. Okay, so text 4. I also remember the six Goswamis, Rupa, Sanatan, and Bhatta Raghunath. Hey, um, Raghunath, Sri Jiva, and Gopal Bhatta, and Das Raghunath. It is by the mercy of these Vaishnavas and Gurus that I attempt to write about the pastimes and qualities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Whether I know or know not, it is for self purification that I write this book.
Mm.
So, this Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj, he had the association of these persons. They were alive in the body, and they taught. They taught them these principles, and they also wrote books. But it's so nice if you have a living devotee that is advanced on this path, and then you learn from them, and that's really the best way. And then you hear these books taught by an experienced devotee. See, a person who experiences these mellows and these rasas and the depths of this teaching, and it goes really fast. You get very purified, and that's how you attain God in this lifetime,
Mm.
is by the living association, the living devotee who's actually attained the Lord's grace already. There's no other real practical way to get it fast. Otherwise, it's
I
this.
agree.
Yeah, this Maya is very bewildering. Even if you're advanced, even if you come in with a connection with God,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
And I had the connection and I didn't.
yeah, it's still
But I
because
got it straight away with you.
yeah, yeah,
Amazing, no?
yeah. Well, it's like we carry this knowledge. See, this knowledge it's passed in a disciplic line, and it makes everything easy because if you try to figure out these subtle things about this Maya, the illusion, how it works, ooh, it's like you get befuddled. It's like can't figure it out. It's just impossible. It's already been figured out in the cyclic line, and then you get the knowledge. It's like you if you learn if you're taught how to play an instrument or something, and you benefit from the knowledge of a person who plays the instrument nicely.
Yeah.
They teach you shortcuts and all these things. Yeah, and so in devotional service, that's why they call a spiritual master. But now, yeah, but now we have yeah, we have spiritual masters who are not really masters of spirit. They don't even know what it is. That's because for lack of realized souls who actually know they're actually spiritual masters, masters of the supreme spirit. They understand that. Um, they understand the relationship very deeply. Yeah. So the world lacks this kind of instruction.
I agree.
Yeah,
Because it happened to me actually.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
had this connection already open since I was born, but then I didn't know all of this that came to me straight away after I met you.
yeah,
And after we read
yeah,
one of the
yeah,
scriptures, and that was it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
had everything, it came to me everything. And
yeah,
Lord Caitanya showed himself, and we read exactly the
yeah,
Krishna as a boy, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
knew that he was the one that came to
yeah,
see me. Amazing.
yeah, yeah,
Everything was like straight away amazing.
yes,
But before that, I was a little bit, yeah,
yeah. You just,
without
yeah,
a path,
yeah,
right?
unclear.
Unclear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
word.
yeah. It's just beautiful, isn't it? It's nice. You
Yeah.
just like picked it right up.
Well, I think the only reason why is because I was born with this open channel. Yeah, so
Yeah,
then you
yeah,
pick it up straight away because you
yeah,
have the channel open, right?
yeah, yeah,
this is the only reason why I didn't have to go through the many
Yeah,
years,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, it's because you carry it on from your past life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
A lot
That's
of people.
right.
Yeah,
In my
yeah,
DNA or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
yeah. And it's not something that like now you got it. You're
No,
gonna
no,
say,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
But
No, you
but
know,
Lord Chaitanya is my friend. He's here every
yeah.
day.
Now, yeah, it's a relationship, and it deepens more and more all the
Yeah,
time.
and then I have more coming all
Yeah,
the
more
time.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah, otherwise you get bored.
I
Why
know.
would you get bored?
I don't never get
Even
bored.
God likes to know more about
Yeah,
Himself.
yeah, yeah,
He's always
yeah,
learning.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's great. Yeah, more water here. Mm, yeah, let's see here. So, yeah,
I take shelter.
yeah. You want to read?
Oh, you read
You
it.
read it. You can
I
read it.
take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who himself is the tree of transcendental love for Krishna. It gardener and also the bestower and enjoyer of its fruits. That was what you were
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. And see, so the devotee is a storehouse. Also, the Lord empowers them to be a storehouse for this bhakti. They're like the tree. See, and so by their preaching, they deliver the fruits.
Yeah.
And so then devotees, they eat these fruits, and then they get purified, and then they become a tree also. It's like, just like the principle in the world. There's a tree, it puts out the fruits, and the fruits have seeds in them, and the seeds go in the ground and they become trees. So that's how this works, and that's why it's working like this. You see, everybody is becoming a tree of this kind of experience, this kind of mood, this kind of ecstasy, this kind of knowledge. See, so that's how it's passed on, and it's passed on through the hearing process. You hear from a purified devotee. You hear that sound vibration. It purifies your consciousness. It raises, uplifts it, cleanses it, and then these fruits begin to drop down. Also, you become ecstatic. Also, you start to cry and laugh and choke up, and you become a tree also, and then you bear fruits, and people eat those fruits. See, those fruits is the preaching, the word. See, so that's why these are the conceptions we teach here, and that's how you know you're with a real guru, is because by the action. See, this is a verse in chapter 1 of this Adi Lila. By the action of the book Bhagavat. See, that's this book, these books, what's in there, the contents, and the devotee Bhagavat is the person, the preaching those words, those truths, those conceptions. See, all that's troublesome to your heart is dissipated. All the ignorance and things that we picked up in this Maya
Mundane.
mundane world, yeah, yeah, is dissipated. See, and then this profound love begins to awaken. Like you're starting to
Nice,
feel more and more
nice.
of this love.
Mm.
See, you're in the real path.
Uy,
People spend 40 years,
yeah.
50 years even, on this Vaishnava religion and don't have experiences that you're having and so many of people are having here. And they're basically because they're not on the real path yet. And they don't see, and they could be, but they just don't accept this preaching. Oh, Gar, you're doing the right. We don't like your preaching. You should do it my way and our ways, and But they don't have this ecstasy. This ecstasy. See, so whenever they're ready to listen, then they'll get it. I don't know. It could be in this life. It could be in a year from now or a month from now, um, or next life. Who knows? But once people listen to the vibration of a person in the lineage, then it's very easily the spark is passed on to you, and they're very easy. You pick up these books and you chant these names, and you feel your heart is, that's the easy way. I don't know. So so we're right now kind of engaged in a war of words and all this stuff now, but we're going to win because this is the real truth. This is really powerful. This works. This is a method that actually is tested to produce the result of love of God very quickly,
Very good.
very quickly. So why wouldn't people, once they start to understand that what we're doing is genuine, not take to a path that produces the highest thing? You know, see, and all the other teachers and gurus, they're teaching many lifetimes before you can get what we're, what's happening for the devotees here. For them to feel this bhav and this love and this, which, see, when you feel the love start to awaken, then the tears come more, and then the laughing in ecstasy and the choking up and the deep love for God. It's like, not only does Lord Chaitanya become your friend, but he might become your beloved. You know, the communion very intimate. So, but depends on your relationship,
Yeah.
and it develops here. You start. You're lucky if you start having a friend like Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah. I have always there, but not that often.
Yeah, yeah.
As now, like I have them every day with me.
Uh huh.
It's crazy good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Even if you don't feel like doing anything, they're there with you all the
Yeah.
time. Amazing.
Okay, I think that's good enough. I'm a little tired of talking here. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pani, and Tuka, and who else do we got here?
Aman.
Aman,
Amanda.
and let's see what else. Do we have a question? Yeah, yeah.
And
And oh wow, you're up too. What are you doing up so late there, Fanny? See, I feel shelter and really good fortune of bhakti rising from hearing your divine word. Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, you're welcome there, Pani. Yeah, stay close. Come as much as you can. Yeah, and yeah, it's great. Maria's a new addition here. I met her a few months ago. We met.
Yeah, like 3, 4 months.
God, it goes so fast.
I
It
know.
seems like I just met you
It's
last week.
like, yeah. But
Yeah,
it went really fast. I
yeah,
think we're going for the 4 months now.
yeah, yeah,
Amazing. Next
yeah.
month, right?
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya's her friend now,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
feels that
yeah.
relationship already automatically, spontaneously.
Yeah. Lord Caitanya.
Yeah, showing her a lot of inner things,
Yeah.
secret things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord Caitanya.
Okay, my